And my name is Dionne, the Chief Joy Connector, and we're going to be talking in a few minutes. We're going to let everybody get settled, and then we'll talk about building your self-care toolkit. You don't have to bring anything, but if you love writing, you can have a pen and paper. But if you have your phone and you want to take screenshots or take notes on your phone or whatever device you have, that's fine as well. Good morning. Good morning.
Peace and blessings.
Hey, Sister Abimbola.
How are you?
I'm so good. Thank you for letting me see your beautiful face.
You're welcome.
Good morning,
Good
everyone.
morning. Good morning, Afriye, Marie. It's always wonderful seeing all of you pop in. I hope you're all doing wonderful on Facebook. You know, y'all could come over here, right? There's always room in the Zoom room.
Good morning, Dionne.
Good morning. So, welcome. We'll get started shortly. For those of you here in Zoom, you know, you can type. You can type in the chat where you're visiting, where you're coming in from today. Some people are in New York, some aren't.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together.
Welcome and good morning. My name is Dionne Monsanto. I call myself the Chief Joy Connector. Joy is my superpower. It's my weapon. It's how I show up in the world. And today I'll be guiding you through some clearing and ways to build your self-care toolkit. I think everybody has one. You may not call it a self-care toolkit, and it's a way to, again, as it said in the title, stay ready versus get ready. Like everybody, if you raise your hand or type in the chat, absolutely everybody knows about a first aid kit. Everybody's clear. If there's a first aid kit, you know what should be in a first aid kit. It's automatic. So my hope and goal is for you today that you'll get clear on that with self-care. So for me, who I am in the world when I'm not doing workshops, I am a speaker, I am a life coach, I'm a yoga and dance instructor. I'll be teaching today. And I will tell you right now, even before we get started, each and every one of you are in my self-care toolkit, because what's important to me is connecting with others. So in addition to nature and elements, I draw energy from being with and around people. So I am very thankful that Shawnee has created this space for all of us, albeit virtual. It is a very real space that is healing. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and welcome to each of you on Facebook. I hope you are sharing where you're hailing from in the world over there, so I'll see it later. Thank you, Nija. So if you want to grab your phones, you can. But again, if you can sit and be present with the information. So what I just did in terms of a little intro, talking about building your self-care toolkit, staying ready versus get ready. Even though we are still in the world in a space that's not fully open, there's a way we can use the outdoors to create inner peace and joy. So how I have myself set up today is I have this plant next to me because nature is something that absolutely brings me joy. So I find ways to bring it into the physical space to care for myself. So as I move through my home while indoors, there are ways to reflect nature back to myself. I'll go to the next slide. There's a lot of ways I like to talk about self-care, but in terms of where we are in the world, and it's still, for those of us on the East Coast, it's winter and the seasons are cold, I wanted to talk about the few elements. Now, we can say there are more elements, but for the sake of simplicity today, I'm going to cover these 4: air, earth, fire, and water, and I'll go a little deeper into each one of those. So when we think about air, just starting off with our breath, like wherever you are right now, just take a deep breath. If we are so blessed with the breath of life, there is time, there is future, there is more coming. And quite often, the easiest thing to do is to connect to our breath if it's available to us. Now, when we think of air, not just the physical air around us, but using our breath to support us. And I think of putting the breath onto words, like mantra. So hopefully you have a mantra. If not, we can create one together today. And meditation is something you can do and you've heard of, and music. Because music, there are instruments and voice and sound that are all added to the air, that are carried through the air to bring healing. One of my favorite hashtags is music is my healthcare. So it's something that I do. I literally have my go-to songs. So if you do not have a go-to song, think of your go-to song. I will tell you, for me, literally, I start my day telling the, my home device, I don't want to say the word, and it'll start talking to us, but I will play either Jill Scott Golden or Sunshine I Can Fly by Raoul Maiden, and that brings an energy to my day, even if I've woken up in a different sort of way. That brings a positive energy because of the music that I bring into the space. So there are more. Hopefully you'll share with me what your ideas are that you can add to air. But as we move forward, the earth. So I know you might have to change your screen to see the chat, but I'm going to ask Nija to drop this, the land acknowledgement in the chat. I see someone that they have it in their ringtone. I see the chat coming up. Oh, that's good, Jacqueline. So with the land acknowledgement and earth, we all live, most of us are in America, and these spaces were not our spaces, and they were originally populated by Native American peoples. And I learned about this particular link, and when you type it, thank you. I love seeing your faces. So when you type that into the chat, and if you click on it, then you will be able to see where you are in the world. So I'm in Manhattan in Washington Heights. And when I go to that land acknowledgement, I actually see that I was on Wappinger land, and Munsee Lenape. So depending on where you are in the world, you might have up to 6 different tribes, 6 different native peoples come up. And it's just fascinating to connect to the energy of the people in the space that preceded you. And it brings a different level of awareness to where you are. Thank you, Naja. And then something, I think most of us, oh no, go back to, I'm still on Earth. Thank you. So rocks and crystals and plants and shells. So what I brought with me, as I actually have something, a couple of you I know personally. So this little bag that's all messy is my portable altar. Thank you, Kathy. So in here there's a rock. So I have a rock, and on it it says, if you light a lamp for someone, it will also light your path. So, but this rock is something, and this little bag are things that I carry with me. So in terms of a shell, and sometimes you're traveling. So this little thing's a coral from the ocean. So this little bag has crystals and shells. So I'm just sharing with you. This one's one of my favorites because it happens to be in the shape of a heart. So all of you on Facebook and on Zoom can start to think about different things that bring you joy and center you. Like if I am feeling out of sorts, if I hold on to this rock or a shell or something and place it next to my heart and just breathe, that brings me a certain level of calming and peace. So if you're a person that connects to the earth, these are some ways: knowing your physical space and having physical, tangible things around you, such as rocks, crystals, salts, plants, shells. And there's more, like whatever. Yes, shells from the Caribbean. And when you think of having plants in the house and when we can go outside, getting your feet in the soil, like physically touching soil, physically planting things. If you're repotting something, I have a money tree that I need to replant, and that will bring me joy to connect and feel my fingers in the soil. So please, please, I see you typing in the chat. If there's something you want to add to air or earth, you can take yourself off mute and share what that is before we move to the next element. Ah, yes, I see aloe, a ficus tree, peace lilies. Let me know what you guys have on Facebook that you connect to, your go-to song for air. If you have a mantra, my mantra is, I am living my life in joy. And I use the term enjoy because I feel as though I want to be inside of it. I am in joy. I'm magnifying it from the inside. So enjoy is the adverb that modifies my life. Oh, I am the light. That's beautiful, Kathy. Oh, and the song is Bigger by Beyonce. Okay. You guys have good things. I like these mantras. Nefertiti. My mantra is, and my purpose is to create beauty with my words. Yeah. On Facebook, you guys can share as well. All right. I'm going to move on to the next element. I am love. Yes, Zakia, you are love. Fire. Fire is an element that is tricky because so many people may have some challenges and fear when you hear the word fire. But when you think of it in its purest sense, fire was a gift to us and the planet. And then, but candles, that's a way of bringing the element of fire into your life and giving you a way to focus when you want to meditate and connect to that. So candles are one way, incense, a lot of people use, and then actual fire, as in having a fire pit or creating a bonfire. There's always a certain level of internet. The internet froze. Sorry, Jacqueline. There's certain things that you have. So I'm actually looking at a candle that I have right next to me, a 3-ring candle that I burn. And it's something that it brings me good energy to have that just to look at and bring the element of fire into the space. So I'll light a tea light candle before I go to bed. So if you have any rituals and things that you do with fire, let me know. And if there's something else that you can add to that, that is fire, type it in the chat. Another big element of fire is actually cooking, because that was a big gift. If you think of it, we as humans, fire has been a gift on the planet for several thousand years, but we existed as people on the planet long before fire. So using that gift is something to be cherished and cared for. So cooking food is actually a gift that we created with fire, because we were not able to cook in the way that we do now. But moving on to the next element. Ooh, intuitive cooking. Yes, Nefertiti. Water. Sometimes I think it seems really obvious when we think of water, and so it's all of the things, the oceans, the lakes, the rivers, and ponds, and every body of water you can think of. But for those of us in various faiths, there's immersion in the water. So that is a baptism or a healing or a cleansing. So it can be taking a bath, clearing your energy by immersing in water. And that could be a bathtub, an ocean, a lake, a river, a pond. And then consumption. I made sure before I started the day, I filled up my big water bottle. So I always try to make sure I have water next to me. So consumption, consuming water to heal you from the inside. And most of you may have heard, but just in case, I will share libation, as in pouring libation and sharing water and spirits, with those that have come before us and asking them to clear the way. So creating a connection with water to those elements and spirits that are unseen. So those are some things. There are definitely more. Oh, somebody went swimming this morning. Nice. I do also pour libation, Nefertiti, with spirits. I tend to use gin. So personalize. I go through the slides really quickly because I really want to engage with each of you and start to look at what you have, what you're functionally doing right now, and what you can build, so you're really clear on what it is that is your self-care toolkit. So each of you should think of what you love. So I said I'm a dancer and a yoga teacher, and I love movement, right? So what do I love? The energy of movement and nature. So, and what are your rituals? I saw somebody went swimming this morning. Make sure you're sharing your things and typing them in the chat, Facebook. What your rituals are. So somebody went swimming this morning. Somebody else said they pour libation, and maybe you get up and you lay in bed for 5 minutes and read through something. This is not promoting particular books, but I have different affirmation books next to me. So Black Pearls for Parents, and this one, Journey to the Heart. Maybe your morning ritual, aside from getting up and joining the Woo community, is to grab a book and read what the word of the day is, whether it's in a scripture or a daily devotional. And then what can you carry? Because your self-care toolkit, sometimes life happens and gets in the way and you want to reach for something. So many of us reach for things that may or may not be healthy. So thinking of something you can carry, like quite often I was carrying this little heart rock that I found on a beach with me, because that connected me to happier times or joy when something happened that was negative. So these are the elements of how you, me, we can build a self-care toolkit. So we're going to leave the slides just so, thank you, Naja. She's so intuitive and right there with me. And I definitely, salt and herb baths daily. Thank you, Cheryl. So I'd love to hear from someone, anybody that wants to participate, if you have a self-care toolkit, to see what's in your self-care toolkit, or if you're looking at building one, how we can co-create to find something more robust for you. Someone can unmute or raise your hand and bring yourself into the space.
So while we wait for someone to raise their hand, Dion, I
Hmm.
wanted to share some of what was in the chat. As you were talking, some there were some shares that I'd like to bring forth into the space.
Thank you.
So Nefertiti says anything by Beyonce, chosen according to her mood. Right now, it's Black is King, the
Mm,
entire album. Another person shared that her mantra is my purpose is to create beauty with my words, thoughts, and deeds.
nice.
I am love. Z. Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading someone's question,
Oh,
Susie.
okay.
um, intuitive cooking, I love. And I'd like for Nefertiti to come off of mute and share with us what she means by intuitive cooking, if she's willing. And while she
Yes.
decides, let me go ahead and share a little bit more that was in the chat.
Thank
Um, Veronica says a 7-day candle with a bit of my favorite oil,
you. Hmm.
smoke cleansings, and burning of natural incenses. Cheryl Glenn shared. Rakia on Facebook said that her fire is the sun, opening windows, spending some sun time, and
Mm-hmm.
loving on the sun.
Hmm.
Sienna Robinson says in Facebook, I have a beautiful money tree as well.
Yeah. I
So,
have to repot mine. Poor baby is struggling in this little pot, but I have a beautiful new one for her.
yes, yes. So,
Uh,
water
yeah.
diffusers, drinking water daily, daily reading of Science of the Mind and the Daily Word were also shares that were dropped into the chat. And one other that I'll read, and then we can move on to Nefertiti,
Mhm.
is cooking as therapy on Sundays. And that was shared by Michael Elam in Facebook.
Yes, Michael.
Yeah. So, Nefertiti, are you willing to share and tell us what intuitive cooking is?
Yes. Good morning. Good grand rising, everyone.
Grand right?
Um, yes. So I love cooking, and what I love is just letting my spirit tell me like what to cook. So I spend a lot of time like looking at the ingredients, like looking at my pantry, trying to figure out what I want to do. And sometimes, you know, my spirit guides will actually nudge me as to what to do. So I don't really measure anything. And I know that's, I mean, when I tell some people about that, it's like, okay, but you already kind of know how to cook. Um, but I just let spirit guide me as to what to do. So I mix ingredients together that may be a little unusual, and it turns out beautiful. Or sometimes I'll be going to add an ingredient that I already decided to add, and something will tell me not to do that. So that's kind of what I mean by intuitive cooking.
Well, Nefertiti, what I love about that is that you are connected to yourself and spirit to have that listening. So I applaud you for that because so many of us go through these periods in time where we're hearing, but we're not listening.
Mm.
So it's really important that you not only have that in your life, but it shows up actively for you with cooking and just with that element of fire, since we're talking about fire and cooking on a stove. And then there's that element of metal and that being the how we create things, the cauldron, because I like looking at certain things of how we bring them into our space and into our life. And someone else said in the chat that they don't measure as well. So definitely, and she says, Nija says her grandmother cooked intuitively as well. So I never thought of using that word, but I do that as well. When we go out to a restaurant back in the day, would read the menu and look at what the things that were in the dish and how it was made. And I'm like, oh, I can do that. And go home and create something, similarly based on these things go together and kind of building that repertoire in your memory. So when you're in your home kitchen or visiting someone, you can do that. I always feel like cooking is one of my superpowers as well. And creating. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I can make a meal from just about anybody's kitchen.
Yep, same. Thank you.
Yeah. And so I see, thank you, Charmaine, from Ah, Muslim prayers, prayers for Egun, yes. Burning of incense in the bedroom to change the energy, to keep the room off limits, 90-minute walks per day, music all day. Ashe, give thanks. Thank you, Facebook. I think it's Michael for that. So, who here has a self care toolkit that we can talk about, or who does not have one and we can co create and build one together? Don't be shy. I know you're not shy.
I do not have one.
Okay, and who's speaking?
It's Kathy. I do
Okay.
not have one, and I'd like to build one.
Great. Thank you for that. And thank you for volunteering. So tell me about what you love. What's something that,
I love crystals.
okay.
I love cooking. I love crystals. I love baking. I love smell.
Uh,
Oh, aroma. I
oh,
just while I was sitting here, I just like picked up a bottle of perfume and I was just
that's an excellent one. So these are the things that you know. And I'm glad you said that. I normally have something next to me to show you, and I don't have it today. So in your self care toolkit, it would mean that you'd probably have one of these small bottles to carry. So think of it of being out in the world and something happens. Let's say all of us have lived long enough to have someone we've lost, right? So generally, when you get the moment of bad news, your heart sinks. You feel it in your body, in your heart, your chest, or your gut, and then you want to reach for something. And so many of us will reach for food.
I do that.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
an
I think,
emotional eater, so yes. Yep.
well, most of us were brought up in a way that food is love. So if you feel like you're lacking something, you need to connect to love, and love is food for
Yep.
a great deal of us culturally.
Yep.
So if scents are something you love, finding your signature scent and carrying it with you. Some of you know me, like I make and carry Florida water, and I'll have it in a small spray bottle, and I can spray my hands and breathe it into my hands. So finding that scent for you would be one thing that's crucial, Kathy.
I have found the scent. It's not a natural scent, but I was once like in this big building and smelled something, and I have MS, so at the time I was in a wheelchair
Okay.
and I was being wheeled,
Mhm.
and I was going down this long hallway, and I smelled this smell, and there were people everywhere. It was like almost like a subway station, and people everywhere, and I smelled this smell, and I'm like, what is that? And I went to my appointment and came back and I smelled it again, and I'm like, what is that? And I saw, like, I just, something told me that it was a woman that I saw in the distance, and I made the person chase her down. So like we're like, excuse me. And he's like, weaving and bobbing to get to this woman. And she was an interpreter and she had people with her. And I was just like, I grabbed her. I was like, please, that is what I've wanted to smell like all my life. What is it? And it is Oud Isfahan by Christian Dior.
Well, if once you find it, that's it. I had a million years where obsession was my scent in my younger days, those of you that remember that one.
Yes.
So that was my thing. If you smelled me, it was obsession. So having that in a little one and mixing it in something and adding it to your body oil, and that's a part of it. So aromatherapy and having good scents around you is going to shift your energy. And as you move through the world, so always having that in your space. You said crystals as well. So
Yes.
also there's books about crystals, but if you can go into a space and see which one resonates with you. I almost always have rose quartz somewhere.
Me too. Yeah.
So, and then citrine, and there's another one I started using. I'm blanking on the name, but having a candle holder made from them. So,
Oh.
right? And, in
Oh,
certain
wow.
stores now, depending on where you are in the world, you can still purchase that. So having those, but what's important that I like sharing with people is that having things together. This is why I showed you my tattered and torn travel bag of
Right.
things. If you're going to be out in the world, if you're actually going to another place, that you can take it with you. And then I spread these out and set them up as almost like a portable altar when I go to a different place, but I know these are the things that will ground me. So we have scent and we have crystals. So those are some things. I love seeing all the things come up in the chat. And then do you have an element for you that would be a fire?
Could that be incense?
Okay, yes.
Yes, I have I have plenty of incense cones that are like sandalwood based, and I
Yes.
love the scent of like sandalwood and lavender. Those
Yes.
are my two. I
Thank
love them.
you.
They take me to another place. I'm smiling just I'm getting happy just thinking about the smell.
And
But
that's
those
that's
two.
what it will do. So you're connecting to that, and so you have a store-bought essence, a natural essence, and in the cones, and those are portable. So if you're going somewhere, you can have those with you in your bag. And then something else. So you covered, and then did you have a song? I don't
Golden.
remember if you had a.
I
Oh,
can
yours
do
was golden
golden. Yep.
along with
Hmm.
me. Yes.
Yes.
If Spotify told me that last year I listened to Golden 716 times. So, Golden is definitely my go to song. So, those are some of the things that you could have. And then looking at the element in terms of physically what you can do. I know you said you had MS and you were in a
Hmm.
wheelchair. So, you're
Hmm.
currently not in a wheelchair.
I am not. I'm on crutches though.
All
I'm on
right.
crutches, but
It's just a progression.
I can walk. I'm not in a wheelchair,
Yeah, that's a
and that's a
progression.
progression.
Congratulations.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
good for
Yeah.
you. And just looking at who it is. So I told you my self-care toolkit includes you now that we've been together and just connecting with people and finding a way to connect to people. So what are other things that bring you joy that you can't carry with you?
Um, that I can't carry with me. I
Mm.
mean, talking to people, connecting to people. Actually, my job is to bring people joy. Like
Okay,
I literally say that. I get paid to do that. I
that
get
is
paid
so
to
cool.
find out what will bring people joy and to do that for them.
That is an amazing job. Like I think we all need Kathy's job. I'm, I'm here for that. So this is, let's see. So this here, the cell phone,
Hmm.
that can bring you joy. Now,
Yeah.
sometimes some negative things come in through the phone or the device, but definitely there is a way to use it functionally to connect with others.
Yes.
Again, thanking the Woo community, all of you on Facebook, on Zoom, showing up today to be in community with each other, finding a way, we as a people, finding a way where there was no way to connect.
Woo
So,
brings me joy. Woo
yeah,
brings me joy. Yes.
definitely. Thank you.
Definitely. Yeah.
It brings me joy. And it's a way to get up with, even if I'm like in the bed with the phone in my hand, just listening with one eye open, you know, there's something to learn and then having it to go back to on Facebook and connect with
Yep.
everyone. So it's phenomenal. So thank you for that. So
Thank you.
connecting, so having people, having crystals, and putting that together. One thing that I didn't put in the slide in the deck that I have literally always with me are sunglasses. In my self care toolkit are sunglasses because sometimes there'll be emotions and if I need to cry, I want to be able to cry, and sunglasses give me privacy. So I
Mm.
also say that's a part of a grief toolkit.
Oh
So
wow.
have to, when you put on those dark glasses, I think of the really big Jackie Onassis glasses can be really helpful to have with you. So all of you, all of us, our goal is to support each other and succeed in life in some way, whatever succeeding is for you, and having what you need. So somebody said they take baths every day. I remember seeing that in the chat. So taking baths, and that's a part of their self-care. But the big thing is being aware. So thank you for sharing, Kathy. I
Thank
appreciate
you so
you.
much. I appreciate you.
So making sure each and every one of you here on Zoom and on Facebook, knowing yourself enough to know what it is that you need. So do you need to connect to people? Do you need to pick up your phone and make a phone call? Do you need to go for a walk? Do you need to stand up and stretch and shift your energy? Do you need to find a dance class? All of that is a part of your self care. Um, I saw a lot. I'm going to defer to Nija to see if I missed anything in the chat to share.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure. There is a lot in the chat that was coming in as you were talking to Kathy. So let me go ahead and share.
thank you.
Jacqueline shared about scents. When you all were talking about scents, Jackie says she keeps her secret of the desert perfume oil from Egypt on her. Others also shared that people identify them by scent.
Hmm.
Red lavender oil is another scent that was mentioned in the chat.
Okay.
There was another mention of a scent. I'm trying to find it. Um, while I find that, I will just go ahead and share that Shawnee shared that she has a special space also in her home, and it's for her ancestors. She has sacred items to honor them. She
Mm-hmm.
uses oracle cards and her pendulum to connect with
Mm.
and to get guidance, and says that her ancestors are her main source of power and grounding.
Ashe. Yes, yes. I connect to that, Shawnee. Thank you for sharing that, Nija.
Sure. Denise on Facebook shares that her self care includes reading scripture, crystals. She
Mm-hmm.
also shares that she loves smells and
Mm-hmm.
she started to use oils.
Mm-hmm.
Simple. She puts them on herself and she too loves looking at nature,
Mm-hmm.
especially fall, and has certain songs and laughter in her self care kit.
Oh, laughter. Oh my goodness. Thank you for bringing that into the space. Definitely laughter. And sometimes we just need to laugh at ourselves. We sometimes take ourselves too seriously, and finding a way to, stop and smile. I bring to a lot of my clients talking about what's the word? Sometimes physical activity. So I'll like stop, drop, and plank to do something physical, but stop and smile. And when you turn the corner of your lips up, even if your camera is off and nobody can see you, your energy shifts. Something about moving the corners of your lips up, your energy changes. When you take a deep breath and smile. So there's so many things that we have available to us, but we don't think of them as ways to bring ourselves self-care. And then of course, along with fire, what you eat, when you eat, why you eat, who you talk to. And let's talk about consumption. And then I'll go back to you, Nigel. I jumped in, sorry. But consumption, what are you reading? What are you consuming? Are you on? Woo is a phenomenal community that's safe and healthy, but are you in other communities that are not safe and healthy? Are you creating boundaries to consume things that are positive? And by consumption, it's not just physically eating and drinking, it's what you're watching, it's what you're listening to. So, this is why when we started with what is carried on the air and the songs all of you brought into the space and the scents you brought into the space. So, when you go somewhere and the sound and what you get, what you've consumed is negative, how do you clear that? So I see a lot more messages coming in, and oh, I see Facebook shares too. Great.
Sure, and let me continue for you. Along the lines of crystals, there were shares in the chat about tiger's eye and rose quartz that people carry in their bag. Amethyst, citrine were
Mm-hmm.
also shared. Someone shared, Rukia from Facebook shared that she has every element in her toolkit and it includes shells.
Mm-hmm.
Listening to shells, she says, is so therapeutic.
Yeah.
Like hearing the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Let me scroll down because there are a lot. There's a lot in the chats.
Good.
Egyptian musk oil was mentioned as a scent.
Mm-hmm.
More favorite scents that were shared by the family are Lepidiolite. I always get tripped up on that one. Lepidiolite. And all the Jaspers Cheryl Glenn shared.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Leru says she has 7 candles, each with a different scent, scented by Egyptian oils. She also has seashells, crystals, wood carvings, incense, and stone cultures.
Mm, that's nice.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
One thing that we didn't speak about, Nefertiti says dressing up even when I have no place to go.
Girl, who said that, Nefertiti?
Nefertiti.
Nefertiti, we must be family, girl, because people will see me. My partner will come and he'll look at me. He goes, "You going somewhere today?" I said, "No, I get up and I get dressed." So even if I were not in company with you guys, I get up, get out of the pajamas, and put on something. I will look at what the word of the day is. I will meditate. I love there's a black owned app. So everybody's heard of Calm, but Shine is actually a black owned app. So the Shine app is something that I use for daily meditation, and they range from 5 minutes to, I think the longest is 15 minutes, but you can choose. But having all these things, but you build it, you create it, and you live and step into it, and you share this with the world, whether you share it on your Facebook community. And I do love the shares from Facebook here. Thank you for participating. But all of it is important because you're learning you. You're learning when you get that phone call and something's gone down, something you can go to. Something that I didn't bring in are even cards. So I don't have them around me now. This is the thing when you're presenting. It's like I can't bring my whole self care toolkit because it's too big. I literally have a folder called Warm Fuzzies. So my warm fuzzies are cards. They're things and comments and even emails that I've received from people. So it's kind of like, I'll say what, me saying to Charmaine. It's like, Charmaine, so if Charmaine said to me, it's like, I really appreciate when you helped me out with XYZ, or I love that you did this. And so when you're having a day, because everybody, like, you can raise your hand by the chat or you can physically put your hand up on the screen. Like, how many people have had a day where you wake up feeling less than, where you wake up feeling like, I'm not good at anything, I'm a failure, I wish I could do better, See, I know I had those days. So this is why you have to have a toolkit. And going to, yes, Jacqueline, when you can go read the cards and go like, wow, okay, all right, this is okay. Because sometimes we get disconnected to ourselves. And so that's a time where water, yeah, drinking water, if I throw water on my face and clear it, if I take the Florida water or the scents and clear the energy to wash off the negativity, to literally physically clear it from my body, is something to change the energy. But my warm fuzzies, when somebody says, oh, you did this and it was so great and thank you for that, and it's stuff that you don't think of. Oh, yes. Cheryl says she clears with prayer, Reiki, flower essences, essential oils, selenite. Selenite was the crystal I couldn't think of. I have candle holders made of selenite. Thank you, Cheryl. So all of these things. So hopefully you're sharing on Facebook, you guys letting me know what you guys do as well. And hopefully you have some other things. So if there's anyone that wants to share to let me know what you can add to your toolkit that you didn't have already, that you didn't think of that could be in your toolkit.
Sure. We do have a hand raised. Teresa Scott
Okay.
has her hand raised. And then also in the chat, Rukia from Facebook shared that woo maintains high energy and definitely aligns with love and joy.
Ashe, it does. Thank you, Rakia.
Teresa, would you like to come off of mute and share?
Yes, hi, good morning. Peace and blessing. Thank you so much. This is a beautiful session. I was going to say the same thing about Woo. It's like since I've been attending Woo, my whole atmosphere has changed as far as, me, being a woman and, being empowered. And one of the things that I love about the Woo community is that the sisterhood and the brotherhood is that you can call someone to back to the place when you're having a rough time. So I've connected with several of the people in here. And so when I'm having a day when I'm struggling, I can just call one of them and they're like, no, Teresa, it's not that bad. They're like, okay, Teresa, get yourself together, and they do it in such a loving way. And I really do appreciate them, and it's like everyone on here is like my family. So it's like when I see like when I used to feel really bad if I overslept. But like now I notice that I don't care what time I go to bed. My body's like, hey, you need to get on here with your family. and I just really, really appreciate, just having the woo.
I,
Um, think, yeah, the thing that brought me joy was thinking about when y'all said about the grandma scents. Oh my goodness. If I smell someone that smells like my grandmother, I would actually follow them when I was going out a lot. I would follow them down the street and I was like, what do you got on? Because I know it's something that my grandmother wore.
mhm.
And they were like, yeah, it's this sentence. I was like, oh yeah, because you smell like my grandmother. I mean, I don't care where I'm at. I become like a little girl when I smell my grandmother's scent. It's just amazing. So y'all just brought me joy. So I don't even know how I could like my grandma had different scents, but maybe I could just put something, just
You
put
find
grandma's
one of
scent.
those little bottles, get you to I'm not sure what state you're in, but get to a 99-cent store and buy those little bottles. And even if you find that perfume, put a little bit of in there, even if you put it with alcohol and make it a spray thing. You can do that for yourself and have it in your bag so it can lift your spirits. My mom, who remembers Chantilly? Do you remember
Ooh,
Chantilly?
yes.
So that was the one for my grandmother, Chantilly, and my mom was a Chanel number 5 lady. But yeah, definitely those bring because I don't see Chantilly anymore. I don't know where I would be able to find that to bring that back, but I know it. Thank you for that, Teresa. So you have to find a way, find your grandmama scent and have it with you. Because you can get it in a little bottle, even if it's that small little perfume bottle. The way to stretch it is using alcohol and pouring it into. You'll find your own alchemy or witch hazel to stretch that and spray it. Mm-hmm.
Her
Thank
scent was Charlie. And her
Huh?
scent was Charlie.
Oh my God, I
Charlie
remember Charlie.
and Yves Saint Laurent.
Oh, definitely. These were the classics coming up. Definitely. Terry, learning to accept compliments is a big one. Yeah, accepting. So I will thank you for that, Terry. I want to share with all of you that each one of you need to be able to receive. So wherever you are, place your palms face up, open palms, and then close your palms, and then open. An open palm can receive. And when you close your palms, there's a different energy. It's a fighting stance. It could be holding on to something, but this is a way of blocking your blessings. So receive. And when someone gives you a compliment, that is a blessing they're sharing with you. Receive that blessing, even if it feels uncomfortable, and let that fill your heart and charge your body and chip away at whatever reason you feel you didn't deserve or you're not worthy of that compliment. So you say thank you. Even if some part of your brain goes, that's not true. I don't believe that. If somebody on your shoulder is like, yeah, they're only saying that because cancel. When a negative thought comes up, you say to yourself, cancel, and replace it with a positive thought. Yes, I see people saying that they lift their hands when they're walking to receive God's grace. Yeah. So please, I'm hoping you did that as well on Facebook to really make sure, allow yourself to receive. A closed mouth doesn't get fed, closed hands cannot receive. So don't allow your physical being to be closed. Be closed to what is not for you. Be open to receiving blessings, and compliments are blessings. Yeah. I see a lot more in the chat. Is there more to share, Nija, from Facebook or Zoom?
Yes, so there was some acknowledgement from the people in the community when the scents Charlie and Chanel came up. Um,
Mm.
but what I wanted to share is it is 7:50, and we know that that is time when some people have to roll off and go to other obligations. So if you would acknowledge them and thank them for being here, I will drop your information in the chat and you can talk about that briefly if you like.
Yes. So, my beautiful family here, thank you for being here wherever you are going into the world. Please know that I appreciate you. Sight unseen, voice unheard, that you are loved, even if you don't always feel that way. And you have the ability to transition your energy and create your self care toolkit. And it may change. So, again, for those of you that might not have been here in the beginning, the self care toolkit is something that you build and create similar to a first aid kit. So you create a collection of all the things that bring you joy and can bring you back to yourself when you fall away from yourself. There's ways to contact me that they've dropped into the chat. I'm sure it's on Facebook as well. I'm so happy that you took the time to be here with us today, and whatever and wherever you're going throughout your day, please acknowledge your power, your grandeur, and your love of self and community. Because taking time to show up for Woo is for, wake up everybody, is showing up for yourself. You walk away with a different learning, a different intention. And I do hope to hear from you. As a yoga teacher, a dance teacher, I have a couple of webinars coming up. So if you look at the information and go to the link tree, you'll find ways to connect, whether it's a seminar or a speaking thing that I've done in the past or I'm doing. I really do hope that I hear from you again. I'm sure I'll be in the Facebook community and on Zoom with you in a time in the future. But make sure you connect to yourself and others and share your self-care toolkit with your family and friends. Teach your family how to create one because we all need self-care. Thank you for the time, Kat and Nija, so I could say farewell to them.
Ashe on needing self-care in our toolkits because it is so needed. I know for myself, I have a lot of the items that you mentioned in my home, and I carry some of them with me as well in my purse or in my pocket if I'm not carrying a purse. And so, thank you for that reminder. Um, Let me share that there's a little bit more in the chat. Well, there's a lot more in the chat, but I'll just share a little and let you continue sharing with the
Okay.
community. Sharon L says that she's been using castor oil pack for about 2 months and she's found that it's been relaxing and healing.
Well, let
Laura
me
Joseph.
interject for a moment. So, if you're not familiar with castor oil, my family castor oil is very healing, and it's a way to pull things out of your body. So, if you're having an ache and a pain, a castor oil pack, albeit messy, is a great way to do that. Grab a cheesecloth, just Google castor oil packs. There's a way. My partner, Roger, he started buying them, got them mail ordered, so you could dispose of it when you're done, but they're very healing. And thank you for that reminder. I might need to do one on my knee. So, yes. Sorry, Nice.
I remember, oh no, no worries. I remember growing up, I don't remember if it was my mother or my grandmother, but we were taught to rub our feet with castor oil if our feet hurt, and then put socks on and go to bed. And in the morning, voila, our feet felt so much better. So, continuing on with some of the comments, Laura Joseph on Facebook, she says, what brings me joy is when someone tells me how I've helped them. Helping others is healing. And she says, there's no better feeling.
That's a good one. In one of my bios, I actually have I'm a serial helper. So, there's all these terms where you think cereal gets attached to it and you think of a negative. So I was like, no, I'm a serial helper. So, yes, Jacqueline, castor oil, the feet is good. And, with the fever, do y'all remember that? Slice the onion. It had a piece of onion on the foot, or slice the garlic. So it was the garlic, and put that in the sock and go to sleep with that on your foot to pull the fever out. Yeah. We all have the ways and the remedies, but sometimes we forget. So when we come together, we get to remember and put those things back into our life and remind our community how we can heal ourselves and care for ourselves.
That's beautiful. Thank you. And thank you for the reminder because we do forget. Kathy says, I have a friend that used the bell to eliminate negative thoughts. He would ring the bell regardless of where he was or what he was doing to reset his mind. People thought he was deranged, but his mind is so clear and positive. That's an excellent way to clear energy. Thank you, Kathy, for sharing.
Yeah, I do have a beautiful brass bell on, a little sacred space in my bedroom. And it's funny because I was like, I haven't rang that in a while, but that's a way, again, air and sound to shift the energy. So, can you imagine the joy of ringing that bell for him, no matter what anybody else thought, and the level of power he took into his life to be like, I don't care how all of y'all feel about this, but I'm gonna ring this bell. So, to bring that into your life and not wait till you're 85 years old to just do what you need to do to care for yourself, good for him.
Right, right. And then finally, Z shared when she's praying in a group circle, she encourages those to hold right hand down for giving and left hand up for receiving.
Mm-hmm.
And further in the chat, Cheryl Glenn shared that that's an ancient Kemetic way of praying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's funny you mentioned that when I would have circles, in person, I would definitely talk about how we would hold hands in the circle to make sure there was one hand giving and one hand receiving. But I did not realize that that was an ancient Kemetic way of praying. But I definitely said, if they're both, you need the balance. We always need that balance and what that is for you. So taking that self-assessment, whether it's daily on Woo or within your heart and mind, if it's in your journal, I have a notebook here. So I actually did write down some things and scents or books that I haven't heard of that all of you shared. So being in a constant learning, being a lifelong learner, being open to and receptive. Denise, we have ways to heal ourselves, and we've gotten to the point that we want to modernize everything and buy everything instead of old remedies. And yeah, chanting, meditation, sound bowls. You guys are phenomenally charged and energetic and wise. So again, I'll let you share again, Niger, but type things that are new, something that you didn't think of in your toolkit and what you can add to your toolkit. So type something somebody else can add to their toolkit or something you're going to take away, because I'd love to hear what you're adding to your toolkit that you didn't have before while Nija's sharing from the chat.
Sure. The shares are still coming in, but there was a question from earlier, and it was about Florida water. How, one could prepare their own Florida water.
Literally, whoever asked that, there's a recipe. And the reason I previously, pre-pandemic, would buy it and then I would alter the scent of it for myself. My family's Caribbean. We hail from the United States Virgin Islands, from St. Thomas, St. Croix, and St. John, mostly in St. Thomas now. So it was always used, in different ways. I always mention this because some communities have not heard of what Florida water is. So in translation, I will talk about it as an energy clearing spray. But it is alcohol based and it's also aromatherapy. So that's something that I could use taking the bottle. I can now put it in a spray bottle and pour it in and clear. But if you Google how to make Florida water or how to make bay rum formula, you can do it. It's honestly quite simple. It's just the energy you put over it. I make my own, and I started making my own because while I traveled. Oh, Naja, you my cousin. We're traveling in Kenya. It's not something I could buy while I was in another country. And when you're traveling with liquid, of course, it's heavy and I wouldn't take enough with me. So I said, I'm going to have to figure out how to make this, and found a recipe and would buy a cheap gin, vodka, or rum. And I would dry my flowers. So since it's a floral essence, clove, and that are put into a bottle, and it an energy. So there's prayers and different things that I will do for mine, but the actual formula, it's taking certain essential oils and essence. So before I started traveling, I would do cinnamon, clove, and essential oils along with the spirits in a jar and let that sit for a while. But when you look up the formula, there are different ones and lots of people will tell you what they do. What I started doing while I was in Kenya was actually walking in nature and cutting and picking the flowers and drying them. So I've brought that back to New York with me. So I will buy flowers for myself. And when they're just starting to turn, I will take them out and let them dry. And so I'll take real flowers and put them in with the essence and let that dry. over a period of time. So it can become uniquely your own and how you're making it for that person. But I absolutely encourage you, because I think when you bring your energy to something that you're using for your healing, it is divine. And it's something that I do a great deal. So, and that's what I was going to show you, because I have my jar, and I have them everywhere. So I have a little jar in the bathroom upstairs. I keep one in my purse. That's a smaller one. I buy those spray bottles from the 99-cent store, or I buy cuter ones from Amazon, because people, when they started to want to buy it from me, it's like, oh, you can make it. They were like, I don't want to make it. I'm just going to buy it. Because one sister here that's in the chat, my girlfriend, is the person that made me start selling it, because she was like, no, I'm not going to make it, Dionne. I'm going to buy it from you. I'm like, yes, ma'am. Here's how much would it cost, and I will sell it to you. So I have to thank her for making me do it. But you can totally make it yourself. Now, and I remember, and all right, thank you, Sister Abimbola, with the shrine, when I took some to Nana Ajua. So she was like, oh my God, that smells like what Florida water used to smell like when you first bought it, when it was sold in glass jars instead of plastic jars. So you can totally do it yourself. Somebody said they have to run. So bye. All right, I will let you go back to sharing, and let me know if there's any more questions from Facebook or here on Zoom.
I'd like to bring a voice into the space and have them share what they currently have in their self-care toolkit.
I would love that.
Yeah, so let me select someone, because no one has raised their hand.
Right. Oh, I see Cheryl is adding her castor oil packs to her toolkit. They're so good.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, you spray your mail, Kathy, with Florida water. That's interesting. Okay. And you know what? When you're making your Florida water, if you use alcohol that's 70% alcohol or more, then you also are creating a hand sanitizer as well. So depending on the alcohol content, you're making a better scented hand sanitizer. So it's an energy clearing spray and that. Why y'all gonna make me
So
cry?
I am going to select or invite Akila Stewart.
Okay.
If you are willing, if you could come off of mute and share with us if you have a self-care toolkit or what you are going to create as a result of this session, and maybe Dionne can support you in creating a kit for yourself.
I'm absolutely here for co-creation. Come through, girl. Let me see your face and hear your voice.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I think you all called me Akila Stewart, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm setting up at work. So for my self-care toolkit, I do use crystals. I use incense. I have fountains. So I have a little bit of everything. It just depends on my mood for the day, and what I'm feeling is what I connect myself to. I'm also one of those intuitive cooks. So I don't measure anything, just like you guys are talking about. I just let my spirit take me wherever it wants to take me, and then it comes out really good, and then I enjoy it with my family. So yeah, those are my toolkits. Thank you. Those are my toolkits or tools that I have in my kit, I should say, that I use. I use crystals a lot. I walk with crystals just about every day, to make sure that I am connecting with that energy. Or if I feel like I need a boost, then I'll get that rose quartz, or I'll get that hematite, or I'll get that clear quartz, whatever it is that I need for the day. I make sure I connect with that stone, and I go forth my day and try to be as positive as I possibly can.
Thank you for that. And is there anything, and maybe not, is there anything you're considering adding to your toolkit from all the shares from me and from so much richness in the chat and other folks?
Well, you mentioned, or someone mentioned, dancing, and that's something that I used to do years ago, and I stopped. It was African dancing that I used to do, and I used to enjoy it so much. And I stopped for whatever reason back then and haven't yet to get back into it. So when I heard that, that triggered that thought that I need to find a dance class, even though it may be virtual now, but still, just to get that movement because I do love to dance.
Make sure,
Yeah, I need to
please
restart.
pop my information in the chat again, Sister Nija. And Akila, I can literally, off the top of my head, I can run off some amazing African dancers that are teaching online currently.
Oh, awesome.
So if you reach out to me, I can share that information with you. Sister Esther Grant Walker teaches Sundays and Thursdays. And then if you go to Alvin Ailey, I'm blanking on the brother's name. I think it's Mamadou, teaches 3 days a week via Zoom. And there's a few other people. I'm currently not teaching African dance online. I have a couple of, Black History Month gigs going on, still virtual. So I have 3 different gigs. So yes, 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 that is wonderful. Please get back into dance. And even if you find it on YouTube, what's the sister, Coach Cass? Coach Cass has a whole YouTube channel, and I can't think of her name, the name of her YouTube channel, but Coach Cass Fit is from Ghana, and she streams her classes, her and her mom, online, and you can subscribe to her YouTube channel. And it's more of a fusion of African dance and aerobics, but she's wonderful. I love her. I haven't seen her in a long time, but Coach Cass, there's so many. You reach out to me, I will get you a class.
I sure will. Thank you for that.
Thank you for sharing your face. Oh yeah, beautiful face at work, Akila. Thank you.
Thank you. Mirror image of you. You're very beautiful.
Thank you. And I saw, who is the person that put in the orgone energy? Oh, Cheryl. Okay.
That was Cheryl. Yes.
Okay. Because there was a lot of conversation about what orgone. So orgone, Cheryl, could you explain that to the people? Because I'm sure there was more than one person that wanted to know. I see you typed it in the chat. Are you willing to speak?
I can't too loudly because my husband is asleep next.
Okay, all right, got
phone.
it.
Yeah, so that's why I typed it in the chat. But
got it. I'll read it for you,
um,
Cheryl. Thank you.
thanks.
So Cheryl,
I can support Zion if you like. I can read it.
okay.
So, she was responding to Jackie, but I don't think that Jackie was the only one that asked. She said orgone energy is similar to what the ancients have called prana, chi, or universal energy. Orgone is created by layering organic and inorganic materials that are able to harness this vital life force energy and amplify it so you can actually feel a sensation with it. So she shared that she uses this in her space.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. And thank you for joining, Cheryl, and sharing and whispering while your husband was sleeping. Thank you for being here. So if there's anyone else that wants to share, oh, I see somebody, self-care toolkit. Oh, nice. The other things, so it doesn't have to be like there's physical, tangible things, like I showed some of the things in my toolkit and mentioning like the sunglasses, having glasses for a moment of privacy, because I definitely know getting a shocking phone call that's sad and needing a moment to yourself. And I feel like it was, what's the freeing. I felt so empowered to have a moment of privacy while in the world and to be with myself. And like, I don't mind crying, but then it's like if people, if you're around, if I'm crying in front of you, Shawnee, there's a need to support. Like you want to reach out and you want to support. So it's almost like you're protecting yourself and others because then the people around you are like, what do I do? I don't know her. Should I say something? Should I do something? So people have this push and pull. So just being with yourself. And just having tissues, right? Most of us, at least the women in the chat, right? You were raised to always have a pack of tissues in your bag. Because when you were moving from one space to another, you would blow your nose before you went into the room and be prepared. There's all these little things that you had to do. Oh my God, Stacy, yes, monthly massages. I had my monthly massage yesterday. You need a massage therapist in Harlem, let me know. I will refer you. She is magic. But definitely went to that space, got my massage yesterday and and then took a salt bath last night. And like, what do you put in your water? What do you put in the water that you consume? What do you put in the water that you bathe in? Minerals, clay. There's bentonite clay you can take to cleanse, bentonite, clay you can use as a mask. So many things that you can use. Oh, yeah, Cheryl. My massage therapist, she's come to me as well, too. I don't know how far she travels, so I don't mention that. She lives relatively close, and we had babies at the same time, so I know she comes.
I wanted to share that Cheryl also included with the orgone energy a comment later on that I did not capture when I first talked about it. She says that it raises frequencies and protects from EMFs.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to, I didn't want to leave that out. And
And
then,
where EMF is electromagnetic fields.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wanted to share what Amadou shared from Facebook. She says, I used to keep one of my mother's handkerchiefs in my handbag. This talk is reminding me of so many things I used to carry. And she gives thanks to you for this.
Thank you. Love you, Auntie Amadoma. So, definitely. And that's another thing to remember, was just her bringing up handkerchiefs. Do you remember you used to have to carry a handkerchief with you? Like, now that's been replaced by the disposable tissues, but the handkerchief, wow. I probably have some in my drawer. I think I have a couple of my grandmother's. And so many of you brought in your elders and your ancestors. So I would say, like the table I'm sitting at right now, I have a tablecloth on it that was my grandmother's. So it is old, it's tattered, there's little holes in it, but I know it was my grandmother's. And that brings me joy just because it was hers. People are like, "You're going to put that lace?" I was like, it's already tattered and torn, but I feel like she's here with me. So she's here. Her energy comes through me to you from this little tablecloth. So if you have those things to carry, and then, Shawnee has shared before, we both, we have lost a child. So I actually wear a ring that was my daughter's, and that's something that I like. So I generally have something on of hers. So I didn't think of that, but even in the self-care toolkit are old pair of earrings of hers. So if there's certain ancestors that you like to keep with you, having their essence with you or on you to carry you through the day. And it's just within my personal belief and spiritual belief that it keeps them alive and their energy walking with you. So wherever it is, yeah, Shamani's clothes, shoes, and jewelry, yeah, bringing them, they are with us. I have such chills now. Our ancestors are with us always, unseen, unheard by some of us, and seen and heard by others. So acknowledging them and bringing them into the space where you are and carrying them with you. As you love up on them, they love up on you. When you honor their names, it doesn't always have to be the day they were born or the day that they passed, but just some energy. Us bringing up all the perfumes and bringing the thought energy in the spaces of our mothers and grandmothers has brought them in. And I forget until I'm in talks like this. It's so normal for me. Sister in on Facebook, Auntie Amadoma knew my daughter, and we all would have waist bead parties and wear waist beads. So I have the beads, and I remade the beads from her waist beads into larger waist beads to wear. So I have one set of waist beads that I've repurposed old beads from to wear things from. So there's so many things that you can bring. So having that around my waist, I feel like that energy shores me up and that we're connected in the womb space. So there's so many rites and rituals and ways of being that can do. And you know what, Jacqueline, Jacqueline says she lost her bangles. There are certain things that I lost that were my daughter's or different family members. And then I said, energetically, they served their purpose and somebody else in the world needed that energy. So it's been shared, with the world. When that thing breaks or that things get lost, it's like, all right, even though I understand, Jacqueline, there's that moment where your heart's like, what am I, it takes your breath away, but it's been released. And I like to acknowledge that as you, Jacqueline, having made a level of growth where you didn't need that to support you anymore and somebody else needed that. So you gifted that to someone else, Jacqueline. Yeah. So I'm looking at the time and I want to see if there's any more shares from Facebook or here in Zoom. And if anybody needs support adding to their self-care toolkit to bring another voice in, because I'd love to hear from more of you before we close out, whether it's writing into the chat or speaking from Facebook or Zoom.
Yeah, Dion, this conversation has me feeling a little bit emotional. Um, but thank you. I love hearing about the ways that people are using their ancestors' belongings as a part of their toolkit. My grandmother passed away about 12 years ago, and I have a sweater that
Mm,
was hers that my aunt gave to me. And I wear it when I feel like I need a hug. And so I wear it. And like you said, it's tattered. It's if I wore it out, someone might think, well, where's she going in that old beat up sweater? But I wear it when I'm home and it just feels so good. And I
mm.
keep it in my closet and I keep it like in the front of, one section of my closet. So it's not hidden in the back. And it just reminds me of her and I absolutely feel her energy. So thank you for that reminder.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you. But Nigel, and thank you for sharing that you're emotional. I see some other people in the chat that they're becoming emotional. And let's be clear, I don't know what happened in the world where somehow or another emotions got a bad rap, but feeling emotions is a good thing. You know, if you're a clinician, if you get to the point where you are no longer feeling emotions, that means you have, there's some part of you that's disconnected to another part of you. And that disconnection is not good. We need to feel the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's important that you have that skill set and you have a way to release as things come up. So I don't know why emotions get a bad rap. Please be emotional, be happy, be sad, be all of the things,
yeah.
and you know, please.
Thank you for that. And Alexia typed in the chat, feel all the feels. So I absolutely feel that. So
Yeah.
thank you.
I see in the, if you don't mind, I would love to call on Sister Iya Ayodele. I see she has her hand raised.
Sure, sure.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Sister Dion.
Hey.
Hey, I wanted to participate all this whole time. I just snuck a moment. So, I first of all, I'm very grateful to be a part of this conversation. And I was just thinking about how would I answer that question about what's in my toolbox, because throughout the years, I have just acquired so many tools that I've forgotten more than I have.
Mm,
And intuitively, I guess they come up when I need them. Like I'll have that spirit of remembrance, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I can use this. But consciously, I walk with incense. I walk with charcoal. I walk with sage, Florida water, effun, which is one of Obatala's tools for clearing and also keeping me grounded. Um, I don't remember. Like I cannot call them all forward, but the intangible, there's tangible, and then there's also intangible tools.
absolutely.
And one of my intangible tools is affirmations. Constantly stopping the spiral, the chatter in my head. I have to, and cancel is something that I always say when I'm breaking the cycle of what's going on in my head. But not but and I learned to repurpose and and shift what I say about myself, what I say to myself in other ways. And like, the way that I do that particular tool is simply, if I say I don't want blah 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 blah, whatever that subject is, I reverse the sentence and then I say I am this or I have this.
Ash, you
Yeah,
know what's
so
funny?
that's
So,
really it.
yeah, Ayodele, while you were talking, Sister Shawnee typed in the chat that your toolkit is your word. So people
Ashe,
absolutely see you and
Ashe,
know you to be who you are. So while you were like, I don't know what it is, Shawnee was like, it's your word. And then you
Ashe,
came through with it was your word. So
Ashe.
yeah, definitely that. Robin the cycle breaker. Thank you, Iya Ayodele.
Ashe.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me share. I love
Mm.
you, sis.
Love you too. And I'm glad you brought forward the words again in terms of affirmations or mantra. Please, please, please. I'm coming to you, Stacy and Teresa, but make sure you have that. After the cancel, and Iya Ayodele brought up something important with speaking in the negative. Like recently, someone called me and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm in my happy place." And my happy place, for those of you that don't know me, is my kitchen. Because I'll go in the kitchen, I'll have all sorts of things to do. There's deadlines happening, and I'm feeling away. Because I think it's in American terms, just so you know. Because I went to Kenya talking about I'm feeling away. People from other countries were like, "Feeling away? What do you mean you're feeling away?" And that got me present to the fact that so many of us born in America, have gotten to the point where we're so disconnected from our emotions that we don't have a word to bring to it. So we've coined this phrase when I'm feeling a way about something. And any other person born in America understands when you're feeling a way about something, because you don't even know what to call it. And I didn't get present to that till 2016 in a global conversation. And anybody that was not from America did not know what feeling a way meant. So reframing your words, because they were like, "Oh, you're de-stressing." And my brain was like, "No, no." And I'm like, "Why are they putting stress on me?" I'm not de-stressing. I'm magnifying my joy. I'm in my happy place. So there's no stress. Like, mm-mm. So my brain was like, cancel, cancel. I'm in my happy place. So what did you want to add, Stacy?
Oh, good morning, beautiful. Hello, everyone. Grand Rise. You're glowing. You look so awesome.
Thank
Beaming light over here. Thank you. I don't know what was said since I came in after. However, let me see if I come off. I'm really looking a little crazy. So I, for my toolkit, it's just what I do when I wake up. So morning, there's an affirmation before I even get out of the bed. And it's just simple. Like, I am love. I am agape love to everyone and to everything. I roll over, go to my altar, anoint myself. And those are definitely things that I do on a regular basis. And the self-care is yoga and meditation every day. I've taken on working out. I'm almost like 30 days where I have a accountability partner. So at least 5 days a week, because I'm like really committed to transforming what I look like being consistent. There's times that I've started it and been like, all right, I'm good. I see a 2-pack. I'm good. I'm doing nothing else. However, I'm like, I just had compassion with myself the other day and said, Stacy, this is training. Like, your muscles are being trained. You can't expect them, because I have an expectation like, y'all should be popping by 2 weeks. Like, what's going on with you? And they looking at me like, girl, you ain't been doing nothing with us, like trained us for a long time. So doing the actual training, it's been great because it's been boosting my stamina, and it's been great. So that's a part of self-care. I took one the other day. I'm so smooth at apple cider vinegar, just like Epsom salt, regular sea salt, tea tree and lavender essential oil. And I had on like a sea moss face mask before I went in, and I just light my candles and burn my incense. And it's so funny. Somebody said something about them having it with them. When I look at my bottom of my purse, I have Palo Santo. I have shreds of sage. And if you in my car, there's crystals around the car, like random, like pieces of citrine or clear quartz, and then just like a burnt Palo Santo. I'm like, yes, I have incense in the car, like just in case. I don't know. It's just around me. So that, and
love that we are such light beings and light workers. Be like, in case of emergency, light Palo Santo.
break and burn in case of emergency. And definitely with my dad, his presence is always around. Like, I have him on my altar, and I'll just be like, hey dad, or I'm like, oh, today I have like his hats around me and my sisters. We all split his jewelry. So if I have his ring on the necklace, or I just last night I actually said to him, I said, you are going to help me get this mean 6-pack, because my father had a 6-pack till his day of death. My father was like a sports whatever, so
just having him with me and just like, if I'm doing one more push up, I'm like, come on, you got me, spot me, like, let's get this. So,
Oh, that's
yeah,
beautiful. I love
just
the concept of creating an ancestor as a workout partner. Like, I like that.
and thank you so much for this. It just brings up so much that we have and so much that we do forget because it's a regular ritual for us to do. And one is also a random act of kindness. But being a pranic healer, there's something that we actually it just becomes like a way of being when it happens, it's so beautiful. Like I'll get up in spirit, just like text these 5 people, and I'm like, okay, and I'm just like, hey, beautiful, have a if it's 4 in the morning, whatever time I'm told, and then people like sometimes they text me back like, I asked God this morning for an answer at 3 a.m. and you text me at 4 and I got confirmation. It's just like so much like with being obedient to spirit. So that is amazing. Obedience. Ooh,
Yeah. That's a big one. I remember I got that card at some point, an angel card. When yoga studio I used to work at, there would be an angel card, and they would give it to you after your first time teaching at that studio. And for that, I remember what I got was obedience. And it was a few years ago. And I remember I got clear with myself, said, got it. I have to listen. And that was my call to action, to listen. And I have been,
wow.
So I'm seeing the time, and I know we're going to wrap up soon.
Thank
But I want to
you.
say thank you, Stacy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For the people on Facebook and the people here, that even though our time is semi-limited, we can always touch base. That there's always ways, again, to contact me. There's information that'll go up in the chat. I'm going to ask Sister Nija to bring up the slide again, so you'll see the slide with the contact information, and you can take a picture of it as well, and then I can tell you what's coming up. Oh, I'm sorry, Teresa, I didn't get back to you. Teresa, do you want to say something before
Yes,
we?
today I have to go see the oncologist, and my mother has this green dashiki that she passed this year, gonna be 2 years. And I was thinking about the color green, about the heart thing, and I was saying what I was going to wear today. I had an outfit, but I'm actually going to put on that dashiki. So when I go see the oncologist today, that I'm going to take her in there with me, to know that I have my mother's love with me. And it's like, that's not what I was going to say, but it was like, it just came to me. Put on that dashiki, that green dashiki, and wear it into that oncologist. And I'm just so thankful for this because it just gave me like I learned about the color green, and I've had this dress since I was a child. I used to wear it as a child, and I'm 62 years old, so it's like it's been with me all this time, but I never understood the significance of the green and even of the blackness of the dashiki. So I'm going there with the black green dashiki warrior outfit on, to face this oncologist today. And this is so powerful for me to have to, as a weapon to walk in there with. And I just really appreciate,
Yeah, thank you, Teresa,
this
for sharing
thing.
that, because I hadn't seen you before you were on screen today, but I was praying for you and sending you love in the Woo
Yes.
community just when I saw, the
Yeah, and I
conversation.
saw that, and I thank y'all for all of those prayers. In today's day, and I feel so empowered to walk in there with that green dashiki, and that warrior spirit of the black woman, and that's what I'm taking in today. I'm going to take the warrior, black spirit, the green black warrior spirit in there, and walk into with power. So I
Yeah.
love y'all and I appreciate y'all. And
Oh,
it's at
sending you so much love, Teresa. Sending you
two
so much.
o'clock. 2 o'clock, I'll be there. Yes, thank you.
Um, so thank you so much for all the richness in the chat on Facebook and the richness in the chat here on Zoom. And I guess I should go back to, oh, thank you, Nija. She's so on point. So I did ask earlier I want all of you to stay in contact with me, and there are 4 winners today. So we had a discussion before we went live about who these 4 people, who the winners would be, and how this Nija would support me in selecting them. So Nija is going to share who those 4 people are, and then you'll be able to see contact me.
Yes. So the 4 winners are Afria Scotts. So Afua, I'm sorry if I'm not saying it correctly. If you can come off of mute
Yeah,
and
I know her. Afua Scott. She's the one that made me start selling Florida water.
Do you accept?
I will decline and pass it on to someone else because Dionne and I talk often.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you. So we'll
You were so generous, Afua. I love you.
Love you too.
so we have Akila Stewart, who came into the space early and shared with us her toolkit. So Akila, if you could come off of mic and accept.
I know she was at work. Okay, great. Yay, Akila.
Thank you. The next participant that we are selecting is Angie or Ange, Ange.
It's Angele.
Do you accept this?
I do. Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you for accepting. Hazel Payne is next. So Miss Hazel, can you come off of mute and accept?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
All right.
Is that a yes?
Yes, yes.
All right.
Thank you so much. And then our final selection is Joyce Benton. Joyce, do you accept?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Thank you.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Great. Thank you so much. So there, Dionne, if you want to tell them how to get in touch with you to get this session, this beautiful gift.
Yes. Thank you so much, Nija. And thank you all for accepting. I look forward to hearing your voices. So a complimentary discovery session can be booked. I have an online booking tool. So it's really simple. You'll go to the link that's here, Calendly, CALENDLY.com/my name, Dionne C. Monsanto. And it'll take you to picking a time on my calendar, and it can be a Zoom session or it can simply be a phone call if you're all Zoomed out. But you'll simply book there, and it's very simple, and you'll get a confirmation email. I will see it on my calendar, and then we'll sit and chat via Zoom or on phone and see what we can co-create in that discovery session with you. We do have some more things. So thank you all for accepting and congratulations. And this is just me saying thank you to you. Asante, thank you. Merci, gracias. I appreciate being here with all of you. I am Dionne Monsanto, the founder and chief joy connector of Joyous Ocean. That's my logo on the bottom. And to see what I'm doing, you can find me at Linktree. And then I am on, my email address is there as well. I do check email constantly. And then Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So I hope we do stay connected in addition to being connected through the Woo community. And we have a few good things coming up, so let you know what's coming up. Tomorrow, Wednesday, you can join the Woo community for Black History Month Rise Up Music, and it's being facilitated by David Ross. And then on Thursday, February 11th, Life, Living, and Thriving Through Cycling, facilitated by Kevin Joseph. So please make sure to set your calendar. And to let you know a little bit more about the schedule, the live workshops do happen every day, but you should know that Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursdays are the 90-minute sessions, 7 to 8:30, and then Monday and Wednesday are 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. So you can join through Zoom Live, or it's also streamed live on Facebook. Oh, thank you, Abimbola. And to stay in touch with the Woo community, make sure you register. And here's all the link. You can always take a picture on your phone. The links are in the group, but the bit.ly, the Wake Up Movement, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and then sending an email to info.wakeupseries. Stay connected. with yourself and with the Woo community. I love that I saw in the chat one of the winners from the last time I presented was Sister Abimbola, and she was thanking me for our session together and what she was able to create. So I look forward to working with you, Akila, Angele, Hazel, and Joyce.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Dionne. This has been good for me. I loved it. I was reminded about some things that I hadn't thought about in years, so I do appreciate it. And now we get to shower our love and appreciation to you for this session that you led. Everyone can come off of mic and we can do our traditional Woo love shower at this time to
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Dionne. Queen
Thank you
Dionne.
so
Thank
much.
you,
Love you. Much
Dion.
love.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
You are an
Dionne.
awesome accountability partner
For the
too, sis. I
memorial,
love
Flowing,
you.
beautiful,
Just
wonderful
sharing,
over
session.
here
Thank
warm,
you
the
so
bright
much.
everything.
energy.
Beautiful
Thank you
energy.
so much.
Thank
We're
you. Love you so
Quinn.
much.
going to get
Joy
you
and
arrested
Guy are
because of you. You
wonderful.
look
Including
so good.
You
Thank
are
you
the
so
best.
much.
and
You
You're
are the
Thank
so
best.
great.
you.
Thank you.
community.
Thank
So I
you.
Love
Thank you.
Thank
you.
you,
smile
Quinn.
playing.
Thank
Thank
you.
So
you.
thank
Thank
you
you
Thank
for your
so
you.
much,
support.
Have a
Dionne.
wonderful
Thank
day.
you,
I didn't know if I
everyone.
would
Thank
like
you,
this,
So
community. Peace,
much.
but
love, and
something told me I had to
namaste.
be here, and I'm so grateful
Everyone
that
keep
I
taking
did.
care of yourself. Let's
So
spread peace and love
grateful.
I'm
and
going
to
Thank you
have
to make
for
my
a change.
toolkit
Let's
and
go
use
in
Dionne.
our
it a couple
ancestors'
ways, and I
angels.
really
Love.
appreciate everything.
Love you.
Thank you so, so
Love and
much. This is a
namaste.
Thank you,
beautiful
thank you,
session.
thank you.
Thank you
Thank you.
And
all.
Just
Our
reminding us
you
ancestors are with
slowly
to
us.
remember
back
first
Thank
our
you.
great
just
Thank you,
grandmothers and
pour
Dion.
mothers.
Thank you,
So
some
Dion.
more.
thank you. Beautiful day,
You're
beautiful
just
Bless
time.
you.
beautiful,
Thank
Lord,
beautiful
remember
you.
soul.
those tools.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a
Stay
wonderful
Spirit
day,
can be
beautiful.
everyone.
felt.
Stay beautiful.
Really loved
Stay
it.
in the light. Stay in the divine light. God bless you.
You are the blessing. You are the light.
Blessings. Blessings. Accept all this love. Let's make it rain. Let's make it rain
Yes,
for
let's
Sister
make it
Dion.
rain. Yes,
Come on
yes.
now.
Acts of kindness,
Love
acts of
is
financial
right.
kindness, money, my own
Energy.
natural
Natural
energy
energy
yield.
yield.
Over Sister
Yes.
Dion.
258 for Dion. Woo, woo.
258. A cash app it right now before you
Yes.
forget.
Right now.
Right
Right
now.
now.
Right now.
Thank you, love. Giving is your gift. Giving is
Yes.
a gift.
It's
Yes.
energy. Whatever you give, you will receive.
Yes. 7 times. Thank you. Thank you, God.
Doing it right
Thank
now.
you.